All right, guys, just finished episode 3 and 4 of The Last Dance. This is the Hoops Nerd Show. I really enjoyed it. This series has been fantastic, guys. I think we're learning things about Jordan, or just different aspects of Michael Jordan that made him so great, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. It was more in episode 4, but episode 3 was around Dennis Rodman, and we kind of saw what everyone knew who watched Dennis Rodman. There was just, I guess pageantry is the word, but just so much going on, whether it's dating Madonna, dating Carmen Electra. They go over the vacation he took to Vegas where he just kind of disappeared, which nowadays would be crazy. Could you imagine Dennis Rodman nowadays on Instagram or Snapchat? What an Instagram story from Dennis Rodman would be? It would be banned. It would be crazy town, because Rodman was crazy and he was going out and doing a lot of things that, other players are doing. I know Jordan acts like and talks about like him going to Dennis Rodman's hotel room, and Carmen Electra, I guess, is hiding behind the couch. That's kind of weird, but other players were doing those things. But Dennis Rodman was just so out there and just so flamboyant about everything. You remember the wedding dress, the makeup, the hairstyles. The hairstyles were actually kind of fun, honestly, just the different color all the time. But he was just crazy. But the thing about Rodman that they do end up actually talking about is just his impact on the floor. The guy was an absolute rebounding monster. And I don't even think he was as tall as Scottie Pippen. He was like 6'6" to 6'8" or somewhere in that range. He was lanky. They called him the Worm because he just kind of slithered around and somehow got the rebound. But the thing that he was so good at was, one, he just knew where the ball was going to go. That segment where he kind of talked about angles and clicked this, it's almost like he's talking like he's some sort of whale with sonar in the ocean. He just knew where to go based off of where the ball was bouncing. And he was just... The other thing he had was just this relentless energy and athleticism. He wasn't a great offensive player, just not a great offensive player at all. He averaged like 7 points a game, but his 14 and a half rebounds a game during that major Bulls span, and when he's with the Pistons as well, is just out of this world. He's just not big. He would go up against guys like Karl Malone, who were just monsters, and the Worm would somehow find a way to out-rebound everybody. He just had this innate ability to find the ball and get it and get his hands on it, and he did everything he could to get it. He would sacrifice everything to rebound the ball. And the thing that was nice and good about Rodman that helped that team win so much, nice and good, that was amazing, was that he did not care about points. He cared about winning. And that's kind of a theme we're getting through this whole thing, is just how everyone's goal, when everyone was focused on winning, when they were all on the floor, that's what they did. And even Jordan, who we can, I guess, talk about now, is this episode 4. You've learned all these things that Jordan was willing to do to win the game. So Doug Collins, we talked about him last episode a little bit. Doug Collins is the coach for Jordan, leads them to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're just not able to get over the hump against the Detroit Pistons, who were really, really good. Isaiah Thomas and Bill Laimbeer and all them. You have Doug Collins, the coach, and Krause decides that they need to go with Phil Jackson. And what Phil Jackson does is he brings a triangle offense. They talk about that in the episode. And the ball's getting out of Jordan's hands. Jordan had the ball in his hands at all times with Doug Collins, and he was able to go and score 63 points. And you know what? It's not the worst strategy in the world, because Doug Collins knows that he has the best player on the planet in the history of basketball on his team. And so what do you want to do? Put the ball in Michael Jordan's hands. So it's not like he's doing bad things. Give the ball to Michael Jordan and let him do work. And it worked to a certain extent, but you could tell when Phil Jackson comes in, and we see this a little bit with modern day basketball a little bit, you've got to make other people threats. If you're just giving the ball to Jordan, as great and pure a basketball player as he is, they're going to be able to defend that. And they talked about that. When you make other people threats, you get the ball in Scottie Pippen's hands, you make him flourish a little bit. All of a sudden, Scottie Pippen's going to the All-Star game. All of a sudden, they're all scoring and making the defense be honest. So the more you're able to, have guys guard Scottie Pippen or have to cover Paxson in the corner and things like that, it opens things up for Jordan even more, or makes his life a little bit easier so that he's able to find scoring opportunities or have easier scoring opportunities than he did before. So it's really cool to see. But that doesn't work if Jordan doesn't embrace that. If Jordan doesn't say, hey, the ball's not going to be in my hands, but I have to have faith that this is going to work. He does. And they start winning. And we see in episode 4, they go on to beat Magic and the Lakers, which was unheard of. No one picked the Bulls to win that series, and they dominate them. Those games were closer than you think. You got to go watch those games. But Jordan accepted that change of system and lived within it with the triangle that Phil Jackson's such a fan of. And they win those series, and it's awesome to see. And it's really, that's one of the takeaways I get is you've got Rodman in episode 3 that's just willing to do whatever it takes to win. And he embraces his role, and he embraces winning and giving everything you have. And then in episode 4, we see just another wrinkle of Michael Jordan willing to change and adjust to a different system, which is the triangle. But we've seen that in the episode 1 and 2. Jordan was about winning. Jordan knew he was the great one. He was unbelievable. But whether he was making the winning shot or someone else, Jordan was happy with that. He just knew that he was the best. And so the more he has the ball in his hands, the better. But him being willing to adjust, a lot of guys these days, that's a hard thing to do. You have guys in the NBA, they all want to win, but a lot of them want to win in their way. They want to win in a way where I'm the hero. You know, I don't want to win because, you know, so-and-so on the team gets more points, and so he gets the all-star nods, and I want to go somewhere else where I can be the guy. Jordan was like, well, I want to win, and I want to play with players that want to win. And if that means I have the ball less, if that means I don't win the scoring title, then so be it. But Jordan was just so incredible to accept that role. And it's a lesson to a lot of modern day players. Like, do you want to win or do you want endorsements? Endorsements are great and money's great, but do you want to win championships? Do you want to go all the way? Then you need to embrace the system that you're in, allow other players on your team to flourish, and maybe lose some accolades. Maybe you're not going to be scoring champion. Maybe you won't be defensive player of the year if certain other people get certain defensive assignments. Or maybe you're not the assist leader, and so you're not getting the glory and all these things that come with stats. Do you want to win? That's what Jordan wanted to do, and that's what Pippen wanted to do. It really allowed Pippen to flourish, and you saw how when Pippen was on, they would win. And when Pippen wasn't, they wouldn't. And so that change of scenery, that Phil Jackson philosophy helped them win. This triangle doesn't work anymore, but back then it was great. And guys that embrace systems nowadays in modern day basketball, you win more games, flat out. Guys, we have a new affiliate on this channel. That's Fresh Clean Tees. Look at this shirt. It's so soft. I love these guys. The reason I'm doing it is because I've enjoyed it. I reached out to them and they said, yes, here's an affiliate link and a code HoopsNerd20. Go get 20% off or something like that. I can't remember. I haven't tried it yet. I will though, because it's a coupon that works. Go click the link below. Go to Fresh Clean Tees. Buy some t-shirts. Help me out a little bit. And use the code HoopsNerd20. Save some money, guys. They're great. Also, like and subscribe this channel, guys. We're talking more and more. We're going to try some things. We've still got to set up the memberships and everything. That might be a code we give to members. I don't know. Affiliate links and coupon codes and things like that for being a member of the Hoopsner channel. Guys, I will talk to you later.